Welcome to Be Well. I'm Lisa Bergoff, pharmacist, yoga teacher, and health coach. Each week, we'll explore simple, science-informed ways for us to move better, feel more resilient, and feel more at home in our bodies. From breath work and strength training to sleep, hormones, and healthy habits, we're here to help you age well and truly thrive, one small step at a time. This is Be Well.
Hi, this is Lisa Bergoff from Zen & Now. Welcome to Be Well. We are recording this the last week of December. As we move into our new year, I thought we could take some time to just reflect back on this past year and celebrate some wins and some victories before rushing into the new year. And if you set New Year's resolutions, kind of clearing the slate before you make those resolutions. Like Mother Nature right now in winter is going more dormant and things are slowing down, getting ready for new growth in the spring. So it's like getting the soil ready to plant those seeds. So we'll take some time today to just reflect on what's been, the wins, the victories, the challenges, the lessons, and some different strategies and techniques you could use to just kind of clear your slate and till your soil so that you can plant those new seeds for all these new beginnings coming your way. So I'm also a pharmacist, and for the Connecticut Pharmacists Association every year at our annual meeting, and in my neighborhood we have an annual meeting, and at the annual meeting we always have some roses to honor the people that we have lost this past year, to remember them, to honor them. I chose yellow roses because it was my sister's favorite color rose, and also because when my mom was younger, her father used to give her yellow roses, so they're very special for me. So it's just my way of kind of acknowledging and remembering my sister and celebrating some traditions that my mother has brought to us. So celebrating the people that have passed, just reflecting back and remembering them can be a really lovely thing to do at the end of the year. It's a kind of time of year when, again, Mother Nature is getting quieter. We just had all that snow recently, and Mother Nature gave us this beautiful blanket, and we're rushing around this huge, busy holiday season, which hopefully is filled with fun times, but they can be exhausting too. So giving yourself some time just to sit and reflect, and maybe journal. I love this. My husband and I started this tradition a few years ago, and it started by accident, actually. He was looking through his phone at pictures. He was looking for something in particular. And as he was scrolling back, he's like, oh my gosh, we've done so many great things this year. So we started to do that on New Year's. We sit and go back through the whole phone photo files all the way back to January and then go forward. And this year, in fact, it was really sweet because he made me a book with everything up until he made the book in mid-December. So that's kind of a fun thing to do. So I'm going to invite you to pull out your phone, and if you have, and you can do this later, but if you have some paper or a journal and you'd like to just write some reflections, but as you pull out your phone, pull up your photo journal or your photo apps and just start to scroll back to the beginning of the year, and you might find that you forgot how many wonderful things you did. Sometimes we just forget. You know, I was scrolling through again a few weeks ago, and I had forgotten that we had gone on so many different trips. And I feel like as we're, scrolling through social media or whatever, it feels like everybody else is always on vacation and we get this FOMO. And then I reflect back, I'm like, oh my gosh, we really have done so many wonderful things. So I'm going to invite you to scroll through your phone app. You don't have to do it right now, but scroll through your phone app and look at all the wonderful things that you did do. And also you might find some challenging times in there too. And what wins and victories can you find from those lessons and those challenges that you've overcome? So our brain is hardwired to look for what's wrong and what's missing. It's a problem-solving machine, and we have to retrain it to look for what's right. And when we focus on what's gone well, or the glimmers, the silver linings, what lessons we've learned from the challenges, we'll start to find more of those glimmers and those more positive aspects, how we've grown and thrived and kind of been molded into who we are now because of those challenges that we've overcome. So again, I'd like to invite you to get a journal or a piece of paper, and you can do this, you can pause and come back to this later if you're watching this later. And just reflect back, look through your calendar and see all the fabulous things you did or didn't do, what wins and victories you'd like to celebrate. This is something that I do at the end of every month, in fact. So this doesn't have to just be done at the end of every year. It's a nice thing to do at the end of the year, again, to just till the soil and get the soil ready to plant the new seeds for your new growth in your springtime. This also doesn't have to be done at the end of December either. So a lot of people will set New Year's resolutions in January, but some people like to do it in spring at the equinox. Some people like to do it on their birthday. And it doesn't matter when you do it. You can every day reflect back on how your day went and what went well and what the challenges were, and give yourself a big mental pat on the back for getting through those challenges. You have a 100% success rate of getting through a hard day because you're here, right? So again, it's important to till the soil, to clear our space physically and emotionally and mentally. So maybe looking around where you are, and if it feels like things are really cluttered. I know my house is still full of holiday decorations, and while it brings me a lot of joy, I feel like it's starting to feel cluttered. And I know when we take them all down this weekend, it's gonna feel like fresh and clean, and I'm gonna love that. So I'm looking forward to that, even though I'm enjoying the decorations out now. And what other areas of your life could you declutter? It could be as simple as giving yourself 3 seconds at the beginning of your day and the end of your day to just clear your mind. Take a breath, pause, and just set the tone for your day. The beginning and the end of your day are really, really precious, just like the beginning and the end of your year. So yes, here we are at the end of December, and we're gonna look back and honor what's been. So if you do have a piece of paper and a pen, I'm just going to invite you to write down a couple journal prompts and just review that. And if you're driving, please just wait and do that another time. Come back and watch this episode again. So looking back, just focus on one win, something that you're proud of this year. And one challenge that you moved through or that you learned from. And then a moment that brought you joy, meaning, growth. And then from the lessons and the growth, something that this year has taught you. Maybe it's taught you that you are more brilliant than you think, that you can do more than you ever thought, or that you started something and it just didn't seem that important and you let it go and you get to start again. And that's the beautiful thing about new beginnings. We get to start again. Maybe you discovered a strength that you have, or something that you have strengthened, a strength that already existed and you strengthened it. Maybe you had a really great exercise regime, or maybe you did really well with nourishing yourself, your body, your mind, your spirit. Maybe you added some new daily habits that you stuck to. And maybe some of those habits really didn't stick, but they don't serve you, so you let them go. There's no judgment, and there's no right, and there's no wrong. This is just an opportunity to reflect back and see where you thrived and where there may be some room for growth or for letting go. And now reflecting on different areas of your life. So reflecting on relationships, what went well, what relationships would you like to cultivate, what relationships would you like to renew or to strengthen. Sometimes it takes some time, some effort to stay connected to people. And sometimes, it's a season and it's a time to let a relationship go. I was listening to a podcast recently that said that we renew our friendships every 7 years. We have a whole new group of friends every 7 years. So maybe it's a time to cultivate new friendships, or to be, in gratitude for the friendships that we had that we may not be as close to anymore. So what kind of relationships would you like to nourish? And what relationships did you nourish in this past year? And how about your health and your energy? I know around the holidays is when my daily habits really start to suffer because they're busy, busy times. I have a really great, fabulous morning routine, and my nighttime routine, my bedtime routine is something I'm constantly working on because I feel like I can stay up and get it all done, and then I'm tired. And then the rest of my day suffers, so I know that's something that I'm working on. And that does affect my energy and my health. So where are you with your health and your energy? What areas went really well for you this year? Did you start a new exercise regime? Did you start walking with a friend? Did you have a routine that just fell by the wayside? And again, there's no judgment. This is just a reflection. And maybe it's that the activity that you started with just really wasn't enjoyable. So if we're doing activities that aren't fun, we're less likely to keep doing them. So we'll talk about that next week when we start our New Year's goal setting resolutions and stacking some easy habits when we talk in the new year. So for just now, don't worry about moving forward. Let's talk about just what went well, and then acknowledging the things that maybe didn't go as well as we had hoped they would, and letting them be, just letting them go for now. How about your self-care and your personal growth? I love to listen to podcasts and to listen to audiobooks and to read inspiring things. Every morning, one of my daily habits in the morning is to read from a daily journal. I have a few of them. One of them is this Journey to the Heart, and I love it so much because it's a daily reflection, and it starts at the beginning of the year and then it goes through. But it's really wonderful because you could pick and just open it to a page, and it usually will speak to you, or like your birthday or some significant event in your life. So that's something that I do as part of my daily routine, and I've stuck with it every day. Every day I get up, before I give any of my attention to the rest of the world, I read something inspirational, something that nourishes my mind to set the tone for my day. So that's something that I'm proud of that I stuck with every day this year. And then I do the Wordle. So I try not to get on social media first thing in the morning. I try not to get on technology first thing in the morning. I try to nourish my brain, take a few breaths and breathe, and just a short meditation every morning before I give my energy out to the world. And then other life check-ins, career, business, work, money. How did you do there? Where have you grown? Where were you thriving? Where is there room for improvement? And again, please put no judgment into this. There's no right, there's no wrong. This is just a reflection and a way to just see what's working and not make things harder than they need to be as we move forward. And then the next reflection is on letting go. What's one habit, belief, or expectation that you are ready to release? So if there's something like a negative self-talk or limiting belief, is there something that you are willing to let go of? What we put after the two words I am are so precious. We step right into whatever we put after those two words. They're powerful. So if we put after those two words, I am not something enough, I'm not old enough, I'm not young enough, I'm not tall enough, I'm not short enough, I'm not whatever enough, then we believe that. Our brain is, again, this hardwired machine looking for what's wrong. We have to reframe it. We have to wordsmith sometimes and change those words around, because your beliefs are the thoughts that you keep thinking. So if you're constantly thinking that you're not going to get something, you're not going to be something, you're not going to do something, then you're going to believe that. So reframing the way you speak to yourself can be a really lovely gift for yourself. So listening to how your self-talk comes, and see maybe that's one thing that you would be willing to release this year. If the negative self-talk is something that's been holding you back, or your limiting beliefs have been holding you back. And also, if you have limiting beliefs, whose voice is that in? Is that really your heart speaking to you, or is that somebody else's voice? Maybe it's somebody from your past. It could have been a kindergarten teacher, or a bully on the playground, or a parent who meant well. But maybe that's not really true, and you can change that story. We get to choose. You could choose again. So maybe that's something that you can release. And when you do release it, say this, I release this with gratitude for what it has taught me. So acknowledging that you have limiting beliefs and that they might be holding you back, acknowledging that they are not true, and moving forward can be just making things so much lighter. It's like taking off a big heavy winter coat and putting it down, or taking off a big backpack that's just full of rocks, full of negative energy. Just put it down and release it. Even if you just take it off for a moment, just take it off and release it and let it go. At least just for now, try to lighten things up at the end of the year. Give yourself some grace, give yourself a big mental pat on the back for getting through this. And there are some really great ways to let go, to clear your space. I brought in, I'm not going to light these, but this is some great ways to clear space. So at home and at my yoga studio, I will clear the space by smudging. So this is a saint stick. It's called Palo Santo, and it's a beautiful light scent. Palo Santo means a saint stick, and it's an organic wood from Peru. And it has this beautiful light smoke. And if you just, light it and move around, get in the corners, get around your body, it clears the energy around you. So I don't know if you remember Pigpen from Snoopy. He has a big cloud of debris around him, and he's carrying all the garbage around with him. And we have that. We are energetic bodies. This isn't woo-woo. This is science. We have energetic fields around us, and they are magnetic, and they can attract debris. And it might be energy from other people. It could just be your energetic, just attracting dust. Literally washing it, going in the shower and washing it off, dusting it off, using smudge or smoke. And smoke and smudge have been used in almost every culture. Indigenous people in almost every culture have used smoke, and it's used in other different cultures and religions. Another thing that you could use for smudge is sage. So this is white sage, and it's got a little more pungent smell. I don't use this as often, but I do like it. And there's all different types of sage as well. I like to use it with this little abalone shell because it does kind of drop ash as you go. But when you're clearing space, and it could be with smoke, it could be with intention. You could just say, clear this space of anything that no longer serves me. Again, it could be just wiping off energetically, just pretending to wipe off the dust around you. It could also be with sound. And so you could I have this sound bowl, you could ding, you could use a little dinner bell and clear with sound. I know people that just clap. They just clap and they clear the sound. They make that sound and they say, just clear the space around me. Sometimes at the beginning of our hospice team meetings, I will just lead a little grounding exercise, and I'll just ask people to uncross their legs and literally stomp the ground and feel the ground underneath them and just kind of shake off any excess energies by physically stomping the ground. So these are some ways that you can just clear your energy, and this is something you could do every day. So that's a great way of letting go of energy that is not yours to be carrying around, energy that might be depleting you, that might be exhausting you. So that's a nice way to just energetically let things go. If you have things that you'd like to let go of, you might write them on a piece of paper and fold it up and bury it, or you might write it on a piece of paper and burn it in a safe place. And but that's a really great thing to do, is to let go of things that just don't serve you anymore. And it may be something that did serve you. It might have served you very well. I always think about it like your junk drawer or your closet. You might have so many things in your closet. Some things might be beautiful, brand new, tags on them and all, and they're just not right for you. You're not going to wear them, and you're just keeping them because they're there and they're functional, but maybe somebody else could enjoy them and you could donate them or sell them. So just because it's perfectly fine, if it doesn't serve you, feel free to let it go. Give it away, send it off, wish it well. And that can be literally or metaphorically, of course. And now looking ahead, just for a moment, again, we're going to do more of that next week, but how would you like to feel moving forward? And what kind of preparation can you clear to make that happen? So if you know you want to feel more joyful, what's holding you back from joy now that you can remove or release or put aside. And one small habit or practice that you would like to focus on in this end of the year renewal season. Again, I say my daily habits, my morning habits, I've got a whole slew of them that just help keep me grounded and set the pace and the tone for my day. And I do find if I miss them, I am off and I have to reset myself sometimes. If we have these small daily routines, it allows us to just live with more ease and more grace and just show up. Which brings me to the next prompt. What's one word or intention from your year? And my word for this year, my statement from this year was, I show up. And that is really powerful for me. And we'll talk about that again in the next episode. But coming up with an anthem, a song that's kind of like your song, like an athlete has their song that they come out on the court to or out on the field to. You might have an anthem, you might have a word, you might have a statement that just really motivates you. And so the statement, I show up, serves me all the time. Anytime I feel nervous about doing something, I fear about doing something, I just don't feel like doing something, but I've committed to it, I just remind myself, I show up. So I teach yoga at 6 a.m. a couple of days a week, which means I get up at about 4:30 and I roll out of bed and I'm like, why do I do this to myself? And then I say, I show up. And then I get out there and I get on the mat and my day is so much better for that. And then also interacting with people and doing something early in the day has really helped me to let the rest of my day go so much more smoothly. So those are just a few journal reflections I would like to share with you. And then going back to your phone photo app, so scrolling through and look back on what you did, where you went. We went to so many concerts. I'd forgotten how many concerts we went to this year. And I'm so impressed because we went to concerts like Rod Stewart and Barry Manilow, and these people are in their 80s and they're thriving and they're dancing. Rod Stewart was kicking soccer balls off the side of the stage at 81 years old. And I was so super impressed by that. And it kind of motivates me to keep moving my body so that I stay healthy and well. And you can also, if you keep a journal, if you keep like a date book, a calendar book, you might even go through that and see all the things you did, all the places you went, even all the appointments you might have had to go through. So it's just kind of interesting to see all we've done. If you keep a journal, like if you journal, besides just a calendar, go back and read through what you journaled. What were your challenges? What were your hopes, your dreams? And if you did have New Year's resolutions that you set at the beginning of the year, how did they turn out? And if they were really lofty and just huge and you were trying to go from step A to Z and you never planned all those little steps in between, maybe that's why you didn't get there. And that's okay too. But please, no judgment at all. Just you're part of this journey. You're going on a journey. And there's no right, there's no wrong. It's not about what you didn't do. It's about honoring what you did live through. So yeah, scroll through your phone, photo roll, look at your calendar. You might even look through text messages you received from loved ones or the pictures that they sent you. I love doing that. Looking at projects that you completed, different tasks that you succeeded in or that you tried and maybe that's not for me, but then you've learned from that's not for you. And risks that you've taken and help that you've received and help that you've given, these are all things to reflect back on and to really cheer yourself on for just showing up. So I did want to share a reading from Journey to the Heart, Melody Beattie's, and I encourage you to just get comfortable and sit and take a couple breaths and relax. So again, this is Melody Beattie's Journey to the Heart. It's a daily reflection book, and this one is called Honor the Ending. How was your trip? A friend asked as my trip drew to a close. I thought for a moment, and then the answer came easily. It's had its ups and downs. There were times I felt exhilarated and sure that I was on track. Other days I felt lost, confused. I'd fall into bed at night certain that this whole trip was a mistake and a waste. But I'd wake up in the morning, something would happen, and I'd see how I'd been guided all along. The journey of a year is drawing to a close. Cherish the moments, all of them, even the ups and downs. Cherish the places you've visited, the people you've seen. Say goodbye to those journeys who have called them someplace else. Know you can always call them back by thinking loving thoughts. Know all those you love will be there for you when you need them most. Honor the lessons you've learned and the people who helped you learn them. Honor the journey your soul mapped out for you. Trust all the places you've been. Make a scrapbook in your heart to help you remember. Look back for a moment, reflect in peace, and then let this year draw to a close. All parts of the journey are sacred and holy. You've learned that by now. Take time to honor this ending, though it's really never the end. When you go to sleep tonight, you'll wake up tomorrow, a new adventure will begin. Remember the words you were told when this last adventure began, the words whispered quietly to your heart. Let the journey unfold. Let it be magical. The way has been prepared. People will be expecting you. Yes, you are being led. So I love this. It's such a nice completion to the end of the year. And then again, it just starts over again. In yoga, we start our practice in a reflective state, a quiet state, kind of like springtime. And then we move into more action, more heat building poses, more like summertime. And then we start to wind it down like the fall harvest. And then we end in Shavasana, or corpse pose, which is like winter. And corpse pose is symbolic. It means, Shavasana means corpse pose, and it is symbolic of the death of our past, the death of our practice. And then we roll over into a fetal position and we get to start all over again, a pose of new beginnings. And then we start that cycle again of spring. And here we are at the end of our calendar year, reflecting back on what has been, what went well, and what's yet to come. And then we get to start all over again. And this could be, again, a daily practice, a monthly practice, or a yearly practice where you look back and see how far you've come, all the journeys that you've gone through, the challenges, the blessings, the joy. And I hope that you reflect back on it and find peace and solace in all that you've done, and that you feel joy and accomplishment in the areas that you really excelled, and that you pat yourself on the back. I also have another quote I wanted to share, and it's just about life, and it's just such a beautiful, beautiful message. L.R. Cross says, life is amazing, and then it's awful. And then it's amazing again. And in between the amazing and the awful, it's ordinary and mundane and routine. Breathe in the amazing. Hold on through the awful. Relax and exhale through the ordinary. And that's just living heartbreaking, soul healing, amazing, awful, ordinary life. And it's breathtakingly beautiful. And then one last thing I'd like to leave you with is to offer you or invite you to create, write yourself a letter. Write yourself a letter, and on it, write, you don't have to write this wording, but these are the instructions. As this year comes to a close, take a few quiet moments to reflect. What are you ready to release so that you can step into the new year lighter, clearer, and more aligned? And these may be thoughts, habits, beliefs, patterns, fears, expectations, relationships, or stories that no longer serve you. Write freely and honestly. You are not meant to keep this, only to release it. Write to yourself, as I move into 2026, I am ready to let go of, and list what you are ready to let go of. And then, what has this taught me, and what am I choosing instead? And then when you're ready, fold that paper with intention, and then you can burn it. And as you burn it, imagine that those old energies are dissolving, They're literally going up in smoke, making space for clarity, peace, and possibility. And say, I release with gratitude. I make space for what is next. So this is something that I've actually created for New Year's Eve. I have some friends coming over, and they don't know this yet. We will be doing that together, and we will have a little burning ceremony, releasing the old and clearing space, welcoming the new. What areas are you going to clear for yourself? It could be as simple as cleaning out a junk drawer. It could be organizing your refrigerator. And please don't make this a huge task. Another habit that I have is, and this is because I am a recovering perfectionist, and I used to be, if I couldn't spend, 12 hours organizing my closet, it just didn't get done at all. It was all or nothing. And I've now given myself space and permission to set an alarm for 10 minutes or 20 minutes and go in and attack whatever task I want to do. And then when that alarm goes off, I have permission to step away, even though it's not completed, even though it's not perfect, but at least it's a start. It's progression, and progression over perfection is amazing. Done is better than perfect. These are some things that really help get me by. So what little areas of your life are you going to clear? Are you going to let go of? Are you going to make space for in this end of the year, moving into our new year and beyond? And I'm going to leave you with one last little sharing from The Magic of Surrender by Kute Blackson. This is a fabulous, fabulous book if you're looking for a great book. It's called The Magic of Surrender, Finding the Courage to Let Go. So Kute says, when we surrender to who we are really meant to be, we become stronger, not weaker. Dare I say it, we become superhuman. We elevate our impact. So stop resisting your calling. Stop refusing your greatness. Stop dimming your light. Stop hiding your gifts. Stop fighting your purpose. Stop arguing for your smallness. Stop crawling in the mud. It's time to say yes to the real person you were born. This is when you access the magic, and then life will give you the wings to fly. So I wish you all the best as this year comes to a close. I hope that you've had a wonderful year as you reflect back and you see the things that did go well, your wins, your victories, and you're able to celebrate them. Gratitude is so super powerful. When you come in with an attitude of gratitude, things just get lighter. And I really encourage you to find the lightness, to take off that big heavy coat, literally or metaphorically, take off that big heavy backpack and put it down and give yourself just some grace to be and to know you did your best and that we've got a whole new beginning coming very shortly. We get to start over and over again every single day. I hope that you have a wonderful, happy, healthy new year. I'm wishing you all the best. Be well. We'll see you soon.
Thank you for joining me on Be Well. I hope today's conversation inspires at least one simple way for you to support yourself. Before you step back into your day, pause and choose one uplifting action you can gift yourself. What's your one thing going to be? Remember, small, consistent steps create meaningful change. Until next time, take a breath, take care, and be well.